All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at this problem. Jessica is 12 and 1/3 years old. Her sister is 9 and 3/4 years old. How much older is Jessica than her sister? Okay, I'm going to reread this problem and I'm going to look for some important details. If I could mark up over here, I would circle, highlight, underline, whatever, those important details. I want to jail the details so I can solve this problem. So let's see here. We know that Jessica is 12 and 1/3 years old. This is something that I would put a circle around, underline, highlight, whatever you have. This would be what we want to know. It's important detail. Her sister is 9 and 3/4 years old. It looks like this is an important detail. How much older is Jessica than her sister? Okay, so this is asking us the question, and we need to take a look and think, how are we going to answer it? What operation am I going to perform in order to get the correct answer to how much older Jessica is than her sister? So I'm finding the difference between their ages. They want to know how much older Jessica is than her sister. So we're going to subtract to find the difference. So if Jessica is 12 and 1/3 years old, I'm going to take away the age of her sister, which is 9 and 3/4 years old, and the difference is going to tell us how much older Jessica is. Okay, so now we want to focus over here and use what we know about subtracting fractions that are mixed numbers, right? So 12 and 1/3 and 9 and 3/4, those are mixed numbers. So we've talked about taking our whole number parts and keeping those together, and our fraction parts and keeping those together. So 1/3 take away 3/4. Okay, so here's my fraction parts and here's my whole number parts. I'm going to go ahead and dig in here and see what I find, okay? Let's look at our fraction parts. 1/3 minus 3/4. Well, I know that when I am subtracting fractions, my denominators have to be the same. And they are not. They're not like denominators. So I have to make them like denominators. I have to find my least common denominator. Well, let me list out some of my common facts. My facts of 3, my facts of 4. We'll find the ones that are in common. And right now, I got to be honest with you, in my head, I have an idea of what my common denominator is going to be. But let me show you my thinking on the paper. Okay, so there's my facts for 4. Let me list my facts out for 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I'm going to stop right there because do you see one that's the same? I see 12 and I see 12. So 12 is my LCD. It's my least common denominator. So now let's go up here to our 1/3, take away 3/4, and let me grab a different color. Sometimes it makes it easier to follow. Let's make 1/3 into an equivalent fraction with 12 as the denominator. Okay, so to get from 3 to 12, I'm going to multiply my denominator times 4. Whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do on the top. So 1 times 4 is 4. So I've got 4/12. Now, let me do my second fraction of 3/4. Let me take my 3/4. Where am I going to put it? Right here is good. And I want to make that into an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 12. So to get from 4 to 12, I'm going to multiply 4 times 3. And whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do it on the top. So 3 times 3 is 9. And now I've got the equivalent fraction of 9/12. Let me rewrite my problem. So now I have 4 over 12 take away 9 over 12. Okay, I see right away 4 take away 9. Oh no, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to go back up to my whole number and do some regrouping. I'm going to take and make my 12 and 11, and let's see her 12s. I'm going to make it an 11 and 12 over 12. It's hard to tell if that's together, but it's an 11 and 12 over 12, and I'm going to take that fraction part down here, and I'm going to add it to my 4/12 so that I have enough in my numerator so I can subtract. So 4/12. So let's see here. 12 plus 4 is 16, and 12 plus what? We keep 12, right? We keep our 12. So let me change my numerator to 16. There we go. After doing some regrouping, now I can subtract 9 from 16. That gives me 7. So my new numerator is going to be 7, and I keep my denominator at 12. 7/12 is a good fraction. I'm going to keep that fraction, but I'm going to go back up here, and I have to subtract my whole numbers. So I have 11 take away 9 gives me 2, and my fraction part is 7 over 12. So I could say that Jessica is 2 7/12 years older than her sister. If this is not what you got on your whiteboard, wherever you made a mistake, adjust it. Do you see why you have to adjust it? So that it looks like mine.